everyone, welcome to this first kind of vlog recording that we're making. This is an impressions video of the releases that came out during the Game Awards 2022. There were a lot of things announced, a lot of big games announced, and they made me very excited. Usually I would live tweet this or I would stream this with a bit of commentary, but Game Awards is like at 3 o'clock in the morning for me. No, I'm not going to do that. So I wrote down a bunch of my impressions on my phone. Some of them are like pretty unhinged. So first of all, here's a disclaimer. I'm not going to be talking about the awards themselves. That's a little bit of a controversial issue. There are games that I'm like, I think this should have won or that should have won. And everyone has their opinions, and that's wonderful and lovely. That's what makes us human. If you do want to chat about the awards that we're given, just join us in the Discord and we can talk about it together. You'll find the link in the description below. But overall with the show, I really, really loved it. It gave me goosebumps throughout the entire show, even like with all the reveals. There was a lot of energy, there was a lot of theater. So the way how we're going to be structuring this video is I'm just going to be talking through, first of all, the games that got me really, really excited for their releases. And then we'll kind of go into, everything else. So let's get that started then. The first one I got really excited about was Hades. As soon as I saw this Supergiant logo kind of propping up, I was like, I screamed. It was 3 o'clock in the morning and I screamed. The trailer looks really, really amazing. The graphics look so much more updated. I think this main character lady is called Melanoe or something. I'm not entirely sure how that's pronounced, but she's busy fighting this person called Hecate. And Hecate, I'm also not entirely sure what they're on about, but only thing I remember was when I was playing Titan Quest, the relic that you picked up was called Hecate's Crescent, and it had a moon motif on it. And so there's definitely a very strong connection between the main character and Hecate. I'm super excited about this. I loved Hades. I played through all of Hades on stream. I've got quite a few hours in it. I'm not 100% done with the game. Yeah, the fact that she's got one red eye kind of tells me that there is some Hades things going on. She's got the little crown, and this is an upside down symbol of Hades. So not entirely sure what's going on there, but she is called the Princess of Hell, as far as I know. So there might be some connection going on there with Hades, which, justifies them calling this Hades too. Hecate also has the same symbol on their cowl over there, you can see. But the gameplay looks really great. We've got some more handsome daddies. Look at this, daddies and mommies and everyone in between. We also have some familiar faces coming on in. I'm really, really, really excited. Apparently we're going to go take down Kronos. Now, what Kronos means to us, that's a little bit of a mystery, but it really looks beautiful. It looks smooth. The world looks detailed. There's so much color and vibrancy. There's a host of new and familiar faces. I love the looks. The initial weapons of the protagonist is cool. You've got like the sickle and a dagger. She looks a lot faster than Zagreus. And I'm wondering, because we're seeing quite a few people from the first game, look, his beard is like Hades as well. We get a look at some of the gods that we align with. So we have Apollo as well. But I wonder if it is limited to gods from Olympus again, or if we'll get Hades' blessing, or Zagreus. Will we meet Zagreus at all? So yeah, Hades 2, I'm super keen for. That is a game that got me super excited. Another game that got me super excited was something that I have been waiting for a very long time, and that's Death Stranding. I didn't think that this would be Death Stranding when it first got announced. We're actually going to kind of go through the trailer a little bit here, and I'm probably going to throw out some theories that don't even make sense and will probably not going to happen, but whatever. But first of all, look at this thing. There's a little crab thing going on here. Like, what's going on? As soon as I saw the handprints, I was like, this is Death Stranding 2. Hideo Kojima has been talking a lot about what's been going on. There's also that mysterious symbol. It kind of comes back at the end. You see that there is kind of a cult with Bridget's mask on. This might be a new thing that's going on in Death Stranding 2. and also this environment. This environment looks incredibly crazy. So I had a lot of questions going on because we see Fragile, right? We see Fragile with a baby. There's the baby and Fragile, but we also see Fragile without, like, she's in a vest. And you also notice that she is not covered in old people's skin. So you kind of have to wonder what the heck is going on here. You also see like tentacles within those the BB capsules. And then I'm thinking, okay, are we dealing with the consequences of Death Stranding 1? Because Kojima asks, should we have connected? So are we kind of dealing with the aftermath? What does this connection mean? Did the connection have terrifying circumstances? Maybe we're also dealing with like a multiverse concept here because we have a different version of Fragile. There's also a new company. I'm just going to kind of skip a little bit forward here. So there he is, old man Norman Reedus. Here's Fragile again with her full suit going on. And we have a new company called Drawbridge. Now, Kojima has been using the term bridges so extensively as a way to connect the different cities and connect the different worlds, but drawbridge is something different because drawbridge implies something that is lifted away. So it can connect, but you're also taking things back. So are we perhaps doing something in severing the connections again, or being able to only open and close the connections so that we're not always connected and being able to protect ourselves from whatever has been happening? But there are so many things going on. Apparently Kojima has said that he has packed this trailer with so many little tidbits and secrets everywhere so that we can kind of sit there with our hearts content. And of course his Twitter is now full of DS2 stuff. Here is the cult of Bridget with this like dope guitar vibe. I can also kind of see that, look, this kind of looks like the capsule of BB, but you can see like intestines or something going on here. There's also this new looking thing that helped us to locate where the ghosts were in the first game, but those are red. It's quite interesting. I remember Higgs's one was also very different to ours. Troy Baker is back, which means Higgs is back. So yeah, here are tentacles. Good lord. I am so super keen for this. It seems to be only released on PlayStation 5. It took a year for it to release on PC and then like another year or two to be released on Game Pass. So if you don't have a PlayStation 5, you can just wait for a year or so to pick it up again, but it might give you the excuse to buy the PlayStation 5 because it is going to look incredible. I can't wait to feel that haptic feedback on the controller for Death Stranding 2. Anyway, we're going to stop talking about Death Stranding 2 now. Another thing that I'm really excited about, and it wasn't in the Game Awards full presentation, was kind of in the pre-presentation. Anyway, they announced a Dead Cells DLC, like a collaboration with Castlevania. We saw Dracula and Alucard fighting with our Dead Cells guy. It seems really cool because as soon as the trailer opened, I was like, this feels Castlevania-y. Like, are they actually going to be doing it? And yes, they're going to be doing it. So really excited. Maybe a new bio, maybe a couple more skins. Who knows? But this is something really, really exciting. With the power of pans, we shall defeat Dracula. So Dead Cells never continues to fail. They've been going on for like 7-8 years now, and they just keep delivering fire content, and like you can't not hate them for it. The next thing I want to talk about is Jedi Survivors. So they opened up with this incredibly dramatic presentation of something on stage, someone in a Bacta tank. We're still not entirely sure who this is. I think they also teased the Bacta tank in the very first announcement of Jedi Survivors. But what's really cool, just kind of forwarding through everything, is we see a Cal that is grown up a little bit more. He's got a bit of a beard, but not only that, he's looking incredibly confident. He's looking proficient. You know, he's not just like a bumbling Jedi beginner anymore. He is someone that has more control over his powers, that is more comfortable with a lightsaber or two. and, you know, can hold his own anymore. He's no longer this scared teenager anymore. He's got some heft behind his hits, and it's really, really lovely to see. So it looks like that there's new worlds to explore. We get to fight some bounty hunters. There's some cool stuff happening with the Empire. I'm wondering if they're going to be a lot more cameos like last time. We're going to see a couple of people in the Rebellion, a couple of people in the Empire. That would be really cool. And I'm wondering if we're ever going to get a Cal Kestis cameo in one of the Star Wars, you know, future movies or a future series. Like, I would love to be able to see Cal Kestis in The Mandalorian, for example. That would be super dope. Or, you know, in a similar Star Wars series. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, we get a release date, March 17th. Like, I am ready. Let's go. Let's do this. And it doesn't say that it will be immediately released on Game Pass, but, you know, if you don't have the money, just hold off. It'll probably be released on Game Pass like Jedi Fallen Order. So don't worry about that. The final thing that I'm really excited about is Final Fantasy XVI. All right, I'm a big Final Fantasy nerd. If you have been in any of my streams and we get on the topic of Final Fantasy, I will not shut up. So this seems quite cool. There seems like there is quite a bit of a time jump. We have our look at our protagonist and his little brother Joshua, who has inherited the power of the Phoenix. So there's all sorts of things going on with this Phoenix. We see Ifrit, we see Shiva as well, and it kind of seems like they control the people, or, you know, members of our party, like our main character, our little brother. There's also one other person. It seems quite cool. I'm wondering if we can actually control them as we get taken over or as we summon them. We also get a little bit more context into the core driver of the story, which is revenge with this edgelord guy going on here. I love the look of the summons. I mean, look, I will never dispute that the graphics of Final Fantasy have been absolutely amazing. Sometimes the story can be a little bit lackluster, especially from Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 14 is fantastic, but 15 didn't do it for me. So I'm hoping that 16 will bring back a very strong story with it. And, you know, the director of Final Fantasy 16 is the same as 14. So hopefully we will get some really, really good story here. But yeah, the music is absolutely amazing. I'm really, really enjoying the music. Even the music in Final Fantasy 13 and 15, despite the story being the music was a massive jam. So I also see that they've got quite a bit of the combat that they've been introducing in this Final Fantasy VII Remake and 15. A lot more action orientated, which is something I don't mind. It's definitely a little bit of a departure from the usual turn-based system, but Final Fantasy, every now and again, they like to change their combat system, and I'm excited to see how they have refined this from 15. So yeah, really, really excited about this one. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go through the rest of the trailers in order, and I'm going to just tell you my impressions of them, because I've got impressions of quite a few trailers here. While you're at it, while you're sitting here and you've heard me harp on about some other big games, you know, just you could like the video if you really want to. You can comment, you can subscribe if you want more content. A lot of the content here on this channel is indie games. I do have a stream on Twitch, and I also post a stream sometimes on my archive. So there you go. I'm still making content. The original creators of BioShock are back, and they have something really cool and exciting to show us. So sign me up. This isn't BioShock 3. They do have some scenes that look very BioShocky. I don't know if it's related to the universe or if it's something else completely different, but you can definitely see heavy influences from the 3 BioShock games, like, you know, like this, but you've got some other things that just absolutely look like something completely out of this world. So this kind of looks like how they're going to be using magic now. So instead of like injecting ourselves with something or drinking something, I feel like our weapons are going to be more mechanical. Maybe we'll have a female protagonist going on here, or even a gender neutral one would be great. There is a paw on their wrist, which is fantastic. There are things happening in space. Like, There is so much going on in this trailer, and I can't help but to be super excited for what's going to happen. The story seems to be very mysterious. They do feed us with little tidbits that could hopefully get very complicated. So this fix what you broke. So perhaps there will be some like time travel involved, or there could be a few twists and turns that we would expect from BioShock. So I really, really, really can't wait for Judas to come out. Yes, yes, yes. This is Bayonetta Origins. This looks something like an indie game, but it definitely is a game for Switch, which is quite cool and exciting. I really like it. It's very beautiful. The fact that it's written like a children's book and it has a whole load of, has a whole lot of like watercolor aesthetics, kind of hints towards like a trauma that is hidden with Bayonetta, and she's got a lot going on. So I think this could still be quite a heavy story despite the pretty graphics. Party Animals looks freaking great. This looks like a furry gang beasts, and I am up for it. Where you can, play with your friends and destroy them and have a whole lot of fun doing so. I love this kind of stuff, and it's really fun to play. Like, most of the time you are trying to get back at your friends, but you're also just laughing yourself silly because like the graphics are just ridiculous. So yeah, sign me up to Party Animals. I really like it. Celeste creators are coming in strong with a new title. I didn't think that they would be unleashing anything soon, but here we are with a new title called Earthblade. So looks like the very cool, innovative gameplay that Celeste has offered, but it also includes combat, which is something that Celeste didn't really have. You had to interact with the environment to fight your shadow or whatever, but this has like actual combat, which is pretty great. And like your protagonist has hordes. Like, how cool is that? The music is absolutely stunning. If you just take some time, watch the trailer again and listen to the music. The creator, the composer for Celeste, has created some truly beautiful tracks for that, and this is going to be another beautiful, heart-rendingly stunning piece of music. So I can't wait to hear the full soundtrack when it comes out. It's only coming out in 2024, but they've definitely drummed up quite a lot of interest just with this little trailer, just getting their feelings out there, hyping a couple of people out, saying there is a new game coming out, and I think a lot of people would be behind this. We got some new footage of Forspoken. It looks very, very cool. Every time we see more of this game, it just gets better. It looks very intriguing. We get a little bit more of a hint of the combat. We get a little bit more of a hint of the enemies that we fight. And, the big bad who looks absolutely amazing. The soundtrack is really cool. But also what's really nice is that if you've got a PS5, they have a free demo. I don't know if it's still open to play, but if it is, go check it out and let me know what you think about it in Discord or wherever. I don't have a PS5, so I don't know, but definitely try out that demo. Immortals of Evernum looks really cool, but it's EA, so I don't really trust them, and that's all I have to say about that. Nightingale looks really great. They announced a trailer sometime last year, I think this time last year, and they haven't really put out anything in terms of gameplay, but they do update their people or their followers with constant newsletters, and their website is usually up to date. So it's not as if they're just announcing it and keeping it in the background. They're definitely updating people with what they've been doing. So a very good sign that the developers still care and put a lot of work into the game. The environments look gorgeous. They definitely have the steampunk vibe going on. Very survival, I find. Got a little bit of Valheim. It's got a little bit of vampire or something like that. You can also open portals and help other people. It's all very mysterious. I'd be very interested to see what the combat mechanics are like and the world mechanics would be. I think this could be something that could be quite innovative. but we're just going to have to wait and see. You can go onto their website and sign up to their email if you want more updates. So Diablo 4 looks really great. This Lilith trailer is absolutely amazing. I'm just going to kind of scrub forward to this. There's quite a bit of build up. Oh my word. Like, Teriel is looking dope. Lilith is looking great. I really love this kind of clash between two great forces in hell, but little bit skeptical. Diablo 3 was underwhelming, and the Diablo 2 remake was great, but their servers were terrible, and I don't think that there was LAN capability. You can correct me on there. Also, Blizzard just has a reputation. So let's hope that Diablo 4 it brings us something that is quite satisfying in terms of combat and mechanics, loot systems that don't, you know, kill you and rob you of your time and or money. But it is looking cool. We just have no sense of gameplay in this. We just have like a heavy sense of lore, and you know, that's fine. So initial reviews of Diablo 4 are promising. So we will see. There's a bit of a thunderstorm going on. Ugh. So Blue Protocol looks great. This is Bandai Namco teaming up with Amazon, coming up with an MMO, like a JRPG MMO, and it looks beautiful. Look at this. It looks a lot like the landscapes that you would find, you know, in Tales of Arise, which is Bandai Namco's more recent Tales release. And it looks really good. Very gorgeous environments. I'd be very interested to see the how MMO will play out, if there will be like a gacha system or not. Yeah, I think this looks great. It looks like it's going to be released on all platforms except for Switch, so really looking forward to this one. Here's another new RPG called Banishers. It looks really cool. It has this very kind of mysterious lore building trailer, but it does give us a little bit of gameplay. I thought this would be like a Souls-like because of its mystery and hushed voices. But it does look like, in the end, we do get into a little bit of gameplay. And it looks more action-y than Souls-like. So, kind of looking forward to this one. Look at this. Beautiful. Yeah. Let's give that a whirl. Meet Your Maker looks pretty cool. I think it would appeal to a very niche audience. You kind of create your own death trap, and then people try to kind of raid it and get through all the monsters and things. So sounds very, very involved. Could be really interesting, but definitely not for a wider audience, and that's also okay. Now, if Crash Bandicoot comes in with a cool game, they had like this whole like kooky intro, which it fell a little flat, but like, you know, that was fine. This kind of seems like a not a battle royale, but like a team-based system where you gotta collect all your Wumpa fruits, and the most people who get the Wumpa fruits would be great. Maybe a little bit like, you know, that Pokemon, it's not an MMO, but it's the kind of League of Legends Pokemon, but it could be like a similar vibe. Lots of chaos going on. I would like to see some proper in-game gameplay. I don't know if it's going to be fully... It'll be 3D, but it probably won't be like this kind of 3D. So we're just going to have to see. But, you know, more Crash Bandicoots in our faces is probably a good thing. In come Lords of the Fallen with their hushed voices and their gritty graphics. It is very telling of the genre that it's in. Really pretty Souls-like. I guess it's another title for people that have played the heck out of Elden Ring and all the Dark Souls games, and is still really salty of the fact that Bloodborne is not coming to PC anytime soon, and they need something to play. Hopefully Lords of the Fallen will fill in the hearts of Souls-like players. And then we got Crime Boss of Rockay City. Looks very cool. It's set in the 90s, so lots of neon lights. It kind of feels a little bit Deathloopy. It feels a little cyberpunky. It feels a little bit like a Guy Ritchie movie. It seems really cool. I'd be interested to see what kind of game it is. It does hint that it is first person. Maybe it's got some cool detective work as well. So interested to see. It's got a very star-studded cast. And it has some kind of big movie buffs, like or big people in the movie industry behind it. So I'd be interested to see what this kind of collaboration will bring. Oh yeah, Chuck Norris. And the next one is the DLC for Cyberpunk. So they've been working really hard to do this DLC, and I think that with this DLC will come with a few patches with the main game, I think. But we hear a little bit more of Keanu Reeves, and right at the end we get an appearance by Idris Elba. He's also like a fantastic presence to have on screen, so all for it. Like, I'm hoping that this will give Cyberpunk the game like even more eyes on it. I think the animated series on Netflix has definitely given it a better reputation. A lot more people are playing Cyberpunk because of it and are actually, you know, enjoying it. Hopefully this DLC will bring just a little bit more to, you know, get some trust back from its consumers that it lost with the initial release of Cyberpunk. So, crossing fingers. Someone asked me for a special look at Dune, and it looks really, really great. It seems that it is in conjunction with the production company that has made the Dune movies. So I loved the Dune movie that came out, I think, in 2021. The director, Denis Villeneuve, is one of my favorite directors, and I loved what he did with the world. The graphics here look absolutely great. It feels like it was like almost taken from the movie. I would love to see how they work in the survival elements, how they work in, you know, MMO elements. Are they going to be PvE? Some PvE stuff? Is it all going to be PvP? How are they going to do the sandworm things? Are they going to have different biomes, different planets that you can go to? Can we belong to different factions? How is this heavily political game going to work for this open world survival MMO? I think this would be quite interesting. You can sign up for the beta, apparently. It was quite nice, and you can see that it is released on major platforms, so that could be quite nice, but we don't really have an idea of when this will be released. I imagine that there's going to be quite a lot of work into this game, so we're just going to have to wait and see. And that's it for the impressions for the Game Awards video. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comment section, or you can just insert yourself into the Discord and ask away. If there was a game that I didn't cover and you really wanted me to cover it, also just let me know. I will be trying to stream as many showcases as possible on Twitch, especially indie game showcases. There was a wholesome snack that came out just before the Game Awards, so I definitely want to cover that live on stream. We're just going to go through the VODs, talk about all the games that come out on there. Quite a few games that were revealed during the Game Awards is also available in Game Pass, which is absolutely fantastic. And a lot of the indie games that came out during the wholesome snack is also going to be released on Game Pass. So if you guys haven't signed up to Game Pass, like, please do so. I'm not in any way sponsored by Xbox, but I feel like Xbox PC Game Pass, or even the Ultimate Game Pass, is such a ridiculously good bargain. PC and console games are extortionately expensive, and if you're living in places that are either hit because of things that are happening around the world, or if you can't keep up with inflation and you kind of have to pay, you know, $60-$70 for a new release, Xbox has you covered. You're not necessarily going to get new releases just on day one, but they trickle in at a fairly frequent consistency. Anyway, I'm gonna stop harping on about Xbox and I'm going to end this video. Thank you all for watching.